Bair, a former minor league baseball pitcher from Munhall, began a nonprofit organization about 12 years ago called the BairFind Foundation to help find missing children.
Rather than posting pictures on milk cartons, as you traditionally would see, his idea is to feature photos of missing children on programs and posters of local sports teams, so millions of sports fans will see them and maybe lead to a rescue. He works with the Pittsburgh Pirates to do that here, and most recently, he rejoiced after one of the missing girls that he'd spotlighted on a jumbotron at a Cleveland Indians game was rescued from captivity with two other women in a home in Cleveland. He'd been helping to find her for nearly a decade, and Dennis says the family of Gina DeJesus never gave up hope that she was still alive somewhere. She disappeared at age 14 on her way to school, and Dennis is still working to help find many missing children. He's here to tell us how we can all help through the Bring Home 100 campaign. We welcome Dennis Bair of the Bair Foundation. Good to see you.
Hi, thank you very much.
Dennis.
Thanks. Good morning.
Great
Thanks for
having
having
you
me
here. You bet. Let's talk about, well, first, you were a minor league baseball pitcher.
Yes.
Did baseball, did sports, I mean, you're connected with it now with your foundation, but was there something that happened in your athletic career that gave you the idea for the Bair Foundation?
Well, when I was in the minor leagues with the Cubs, I came up with the idea. I was a starting pitcher, and the starting pitchers are the ones that they send out into the community to work, to work with community organizations, because 4 out of 5 days we don't have to play that night.
Oh, that's right.
So, so I had a lot of experience, like going to libraries to read stories to kids, or going to the hospitals to visit the sick kids in whatever city I was in. So I came up with this idea to feature missing kids' profiles at the stadium, because there were thousands of people there every night, and I thought that I should see them there, and they're not here, and so somebody needs to put them here. And so
that's a sweet. So you mean the kids, the missing kids?
Yeah, profiles of missing kids.
And they're not here, you said.
Yeah, I said there's thousands of people here, and the profiles need to be where the people are.
Yeah.
And wherever I see the profiles, there's nobody there. If I might see them at the post office, or wherever I would see them, I felt like I was the only one standing there looking. But
at the ballpark, it's a different story.
Right, at the ballpark, there are thousands of people there every night, all summer long, and really all year long if you involve other sports.
Well, and we hear so many stories in the news, not a lot, but when we hear about kids missing, you run it for a couple days, still looking for, and then a week later we never hear it again. Is this one of the reasons it's so important to get the word out about these kids who it's been weeks, days, years, and they are still not back?
Yes, because these kids, a kid that goes missing, they are fighting. Just because they're not on the news after 2 or 3 days, those kids are in a fight, no matter what situation they're in. And sometimes it can be a long fight. It can be, Gina DeJesus was fighting for 10 years. 10 years is a long fight. And so who are we to not fight with them? They're fighting for themselves and their own survival and the quality of their own lives. And I spoke with Gina's mom after she was brought home, and her mom said that Gina actually would see us whenever we would be on the news. I took her mom out to throw the first pitch at a Cleveland Indians game, and also at an Akron Arrows game, which is AA for the Indians.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Gina saw all those broadcasts.
Saw that. Oh,
so
wow.
she knew that she wasn't alone in her fight. That people are out there doing things to keep fighting.
And
So
did that give her hope? I mean, were you able to get from Gina what that meant to her to see that effort that was ongoing on her behalf?
Yeah, I mean, it made her happy, but when I was with the Cubs, this was back in '97, when I was in the minor leagues, I spoke to our director of player development, and an old baseball guy, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he said that when he was a kid, people didn't say the word cancer. He said they called it the C word, because they were so afraid of it that they were afraid if they said it, they might get it. And because of that, people who had cancer, they suffered in silence, and people didn't want to be around them. But he said somewhere along the line, somebody started saying the word cancer out loud. And because of that, people started recognizing it for what it is, and it's a challenge.
And similar with missing children now, you're trying to get the word out so people will talk about it?
Exactly. What he told me was that he was a father of 2 sons, and that he said, as a father, if you were to ask me, would I rather have cancer or would I rather have one of my sons go missing, he said any father would say, give me cancer. So that's why when he, today we have, today if you have cancer, you're a fighter now, and other people join the fight with you, and you're a survivor, and you're proud. And people aren't scared of it anymore.
It really has changed. You're right.
Yeah.
And he told me this is like the final frontier, that we have to get these profiles into the stadiums, get them where the people are. A lot of people in Pittsburgh don't know about the minor league system because we're a major league city.
Right.
But there are 160 minor league teams in the country, and they draw over 40 million fans a year.
Yeah, I mean, my hometown, Knoxville, the Knoxville Smokies, Richmond, Virginia, has a team. What's their name? It's
The Flying Squirrels.
The
So you're in
Flying
25
Squirrels.
cities now, and you're trying to get in more, of course, the more the better. So you're trying to raise money for this. Tell us about the event coming up and how people can join.
Saturday night, we're going to be at the Carnegie Library of Homestead Music Hall, which is a beautiful music hall.
Famous.
And Mike Wysocki from WDVE is going to be putting on a comedy show for us with 2 other comedians, with Matt Wolfarth from Wolfie's Comedy.
Okay.
And we're asking everybody to come because we're going in 25 cities this year. The entire Florida State League, the entire Southern League, which is going to be several million views on our signs this summer.
Right.
Good.
We have 25 other cities, the Texas League and the New York Penn League, that want our signs. So we have to raise enough money to construct the signs and ship them to the cities with the pictures of the missing kids from each individual city. So we're going to have a chance to have an impact in 50 American cities this summer.
Wow.
So we need your help. So please come to the Carnegie Library of Homestead Music Hall on Saturday night. The doors open at 7, the show starts at 8. And see Mike Wysocki. He's hilarious.
Yeah. And see Dennis Bair too, and hear more about his great cause. Dennis, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on the show. Thank you.
Our pleasure. And thank you for the great effort that you're doing on behalf of missing children. Folks, you can come to the 2nd annual 100 Last for 100 Kids Comedy Benefit. As Dennis mentioned, featuring Mike Wysocki and others. It's this Saturday, February 1st at 8 o'clock at the Homestead. Is it 8 o'clock or 7?
Doors open at 7 and the show starts at 8.
Show starts at 8. Okay, at the Homestead Carnegie Library. Tickets are $25 in advance, $30 at the door. The doors open at 7. Come early for silent auction and raffles, and all proceeds, as you know, benefit the BairFind Foundation. You can go online for more details at kdka.com/PTL.